Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, I borrowed this 2021 Chevrolet Silverado Z71 RST four-wheel drive Texas edition. And yes, I did say all of that in one take. So hopefully the rest of this take goes well. But that is what we have today. This is a very, very nice truck, and I hope the video will help to answer the question, is it better than the 2021 Ford F150? I'll leave a link down in the comments to a video I did with the 2021 F150 not long ago. And if you want to compare the two and literally find out which truck is better, I'll make that very easy for you. But in the interest of fair reporting, we'll take a close look at this Silverado. And depending on if you're trying to make a decision on whether you want to buy a Silverado or an F-150, well, maybe this video will help out. One thing that I always do is list the dealership's website, a screenshot, I should say, from their website on the screen so that you can see the price of this truck. The exterior color on this is Oxford Brown Metallic, and it has jet black interior. During early 2021, the multi-configurable tailgate is going to be available. Now, that's not something we have here, just a base tailgate, and we'll talk more about cargo and towing in just a little while. But another great feature that is now available, I don't believe it's standard, but it is an available feature that this truck does have, is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I think you're going to start seeing that a lot more as standard on more vehicles as time goes by. And as we take a look at the truck from this angle, it does have LED headlights, LED fog lights down there on the bottom portion of the bumper. Of course, those tow hooks that hopefully you won't ever need, but in the event that you do, they are there. And multiple safety features. I will list a partial list of those safety features on the screen, but they're definitely plentiful. And remember, there is always a link down in the description of the video to the dealership's website if you want to know more. Under the hood of this particular truck is the 5.3-liter V8. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. I'll put all the numbers on the screen, but one thing that is wonderful about these Silverados, depending on your needs and or just simple desires, there are multiple engines available depending on if you are planning on doing any towing, what kind of payload you wish to haul, or if you're just looking for a truck that gets pretty decent gas mileage for a truck. And we'll try and feature some of these other models with other engine combinations under the hood other than what we have here as they become available at the dealership. In fact, tell me what you would like to see down in the comments if there is a particular engine combination in a Silverado you would like to see me feature on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel. And as we just take a quick look at the exterior of this truck, the Z71 logo, of course, you'll notice there are no turn signal indicators built into the mirrors, but that option, of course, is available if it's something you so desire. You do have passive entry. That's what this button is for right here. Right now the doors are unlocked, but if I push that button one time and have the remote in my pocket, of course, on my person basically, then I can take advantage of the passive entry on this truck. One of my favorite features on these Silverado pickups is the bumper step right here on each side. It's very deep. It makes it very easy to remain sure-footed when you're hopping into the bed of the Silverado, something I'm surprised hasn't caught on with more vehicles. And you do have a very well-dampened tailgate. Of course, multiple ways to open that, not only with the button on the tailgate itself, but the remote. And there is an interior button, and there are 12 tie-down points within the bed. And of course, you have the LED lighting to help keep the bed well lit when you're having to load or unload when it's dark outside, in addition to the cab light up there. And I'll put the towing and cargo numbers as far as your payload go on the screen. And speaking of towing, this is something that Chevrolet has been doing for a couple of years now. But if you want to know exactly what you can tow, depending on whatever the situation is, whether you have a heavy payload or you got multiple people in the cab with you, whatever it is, you're going to find all of the information that you need to know about towing with this truck right here between these two stickers. A very, very simple process, but Chevrolet has just made that so easy and convenient. How many of you own one of these trucks and didn't know that was there? I know sometimes I do reviews on these vehicles and people find out about information like that for the very first time. And one thing about the Silverado that is definitely a great quality, there is a lot of interior space, especially for your rear seat passengers when it comes to leg room. And as you can see, I've only folded up one side of the 60/40 split rear seats, but you can fold that up. There's not only storage underneath there, but also everything you need to change a tire in the event that you ever need to. Get that down. You also have storage compartments inside the seat backs, which tell me what you would actually put back there if you were going to put something back there. And I will pull the armrest down right there so you can see the armrest and the cup holders, and grab onto the grab handle here, and we'll hop inside, close the door and try and reduce the glare a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't make it too dark in here, but just to show you what's here, of course, I believe Chevrolet thinks you're going to be very thirsty because you have a total of 4 cup holders back here. Just a little bit of car review humor there, but as you can see, you've got your USB ports and a 12-volt power outlet right there. And I always ask in my videos, how many of you would rather see an additional USB port instead of that 12-volt? Just tell me what you think. I'm curious. Maybe you use the 12-volt regularly, I don't know, but I'm kind of curious to see if that's something that's going to fall by the wayside in the near future. And of course, you do have your dual air conditioning vents and a reasonable amount of storage capacity back here, some that we've already looked at. Of course, you've got the door bins on the doors themselves, and you've got map pockets on the back of each seat. Okay guys, let's say that your rear seat passengers find themselves locked in. Here is how you fix that. This is how you use the child safety lock feature. So when it's back this way towards the back of the door, or basically to the left when you're facing it from this direction, that means the child safety locks are not on. If you want to turn them on, that goes to the right. So I'm going to bring that back to the left so that I don't get stuck in the back seat myself. And just in case, let me show a good view, I didn't do this earlier, of the door bins here on the rear doors. And then you can see the difference between the rear and the front. A little bit of a difference in the space that is available. And as you can see, you do have an adjustable passenger seat. You do have a power driver's seat. Just a quick look into the jet black interior from this particular angle. Also, you have the upper and lower glove boxes here. Quite a bit of storage here in the Silverado. And here from the driver's side, like I said, power driver's seat, as you can see, and depending on the trim level you get will determine what you have in that particular area, but based on what we have available today, this is what we have as far as those options go. There's your power parking brake, all the controls for your lights, and you definitely have quite a bit as far as the light for the bed and all the different features, your fog lights, everything that is here. Very easy to figure out, but just so you know what's there. And one thing that I didn't touch on earlier that I really like, you don't see this in every single vehicle on the trucks, but I believe we're starting to see it anymore, is that you have a grab handle at all 4 corners. And I've done some reviews on vehicles in the past, some trucks and even some cargo vans that had 3 grab handles, but not one for the driver's side. That's always nice to see. This model doesn't have any kind of steps to make getting in and out easier, so having that grab handle up there is going to help make up for that. Not that this truck's too high off the ground. It's pretty easy to get in and out of. In fact, let's just see how it goes. Very easy for me to do that. Now, I'm 5'10", so that does help a little bit in that respect. And you do have a push button start. And one thing I didn't show earlier, there is your remote. So you've got keyless start, like I said, and that is what you have for the remote for your Silverado. No changes in the area of how the interior ultimately looks for 2021, but still very well laid out. Steering wheel mounted controls, you've got your cruise control right here. And of course, if you're going to go through different features on the dashboard, and you do have voice commands, of course, and it's pretty simple to use. I'm not going to do a full-blown tutorial on this, but just so you know, here's how it ultimately works. You're going to push that button, and you're going to be asked what you want to do. Now, if you aren't sure what to do,
say phone or audio. To call a number quicker, say call followed by the number.
Now, I'm not going to go through all of that, but just so you can see what is there, I'll let your assistant here in your Chevrolet kind of help out a little bit. to make my job a little bit easier as we look at the infotainment screen, which is a very simple screen to use. And I don't think I can say this often enough. If you've never had a vehicle, whether it's a truck, a car, an SUV, whatever it is, that has had technology such as an infotainment screen and with all of the great features and functionality, including wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, if you can learn your phone, you can learn this just as easily, in fact, maybe a little bit easier. But don't be afraid of this technology. It's super simple to learn, super easy, and as you can see, even if you want to turn some of these features on and or off, that's what you can do. And as far as the vehicle goes, you've got a rear seat reminder. And if you ever need that and wonder how that works, well, in the interest of fair reporting, let me just show you real fast here. I'm going to turn the ignition off, and there you go. Tell me down in the comments, what do you think about that? Because I know everybody has varying opinions, but it's just something that we have in this day and age. And so if you need to remember that something's in the back seat, it doesn't have to be a child. It can be a briefcase or whatever the case may be. Maybe you left your phone or something back there, or maybe your lunch or whatever. So it's nice to know that that is there. And just to show you a little bit more of what is here, you do have teen driver mode, and you also have valet mode. And here's how valet mode works. Every time you use valet mode, you can use the same code or you can use a different code, but basically this is what it amounts to. You're going to have to put a code in each time. So if you aren't good at remembering codes, well, this is actually pretty easy to use in that case. So now it's locked and we're set. So if you want to unlock, then all you have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4 again, or whatever code is that you have. And it's really that simple to use. Like I said, I have tutorials on that and on teen driver mode. And this model does have dual zone climate control here. As you can see, there's more of the features and functionality of what you can do with that. Of course, you've got your defrosters and all that good stuff. And of course, you do have your heated seats here as well in the front. So not only on the driver's side, but on the passenger side also. Very nice features and functionality here that just make the truck very enjoyable to use. You do have hill start assist, you have trailer sway control. As we take a quick test drive with the Silverado, one thing I neglected to mention earlier, so it's probably a good time to make sure I don't forget this as we drive down the road, you do have a couple of different options as far as your trajectory lines go with your rear view camera. And I like the fact that if you're going to be doing a lot of towing, it just makes backing up to the trailers that you're going to be hooking up to a whole lot easier. That's a very easy feature to figure out. I probably don't even need to really mention that in the video. But just so you know, as we're basically trying to say, well, is the Silverado better than the brand new, fully redesigned F150? And that's nothing against the Ford trucks, but just to give you some options to consider, something to think about. We're definitely going to try and cover some of the main features of this Silverado that I think are very useful, especially if you're going to be using it for towing on a regular basis. In fact, tell me down in the comments, guys, if you're going to buy one of these Silverado 1500s, no matter what the trim level is, what will its primary purpose be? As we drive by this F-150 that is just loving on the center line right there, try and make sure he doesn't love on the right-hand side of this truck as we're driving down the road. That would make for an interesting viral video, wouldn't it? I guess it would be kind of interesting because I'm on my side of the, or in my lane, and he was kind of trying to get into my lane too. And the camera would definitely show what was happening. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program. What about the ride quality of the Silverado? It's good. You know, the days of trucks that just beat you to death, those are pretty much gone by the wayside. Now, I do have to say that when it comes to the best ride quality, well, you're probably going to get that with the Rams with the air ride suspension. And so obviously that does make a difference. But you know what? I have to say, I'm still very impressed with how these well, I've just got so many trucks on my mind today, how the Silverados ride. And considering how trucks used to ride, even when you don't have the air ride suspension, these trucks are still very comfortable. And of course, that's going to vary depending on if you have a heavy payload, a trailer on the bumper. Now, obviously, that's going to all make a difference as to overall ride quality, but ultimately, these Silverados ride really, really well. And you do have plentiful cargo space, a lot of nice storage areas throughout the interior. and just great technology. More and more vehicles are starting to, and car makers I should say, probably a more accurate way to put it, it's definitely something that you're going to start seeing more often, and that is wireless capabilities for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So one way or another, this truck really is a winner, but tell me down in the comments section, if you are looking for an F-150 or a Silverado, which one do you prefer and why? And if you want to see me feature a particular vehicle here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, leave me a comment and I will definitely do everything I can to make that happen for you, whether it's a car, a truck, an SUV, or maybe even a supercar. Sometimes those are a little bit harder to get my hands on in Northwest Louisiana, but we're going to try and work on making that happen and a little bit more available here in the near future with maybe a road trip. We'll just have to see what happens. If you want to see that happen, guys, keep watching my videos so the income is there to make that happen. Buy some t-shirts, the link's down in the description of the video. I don't want to do too much plugging. Got to say thanks to my friends at Red River Chevrolet for loaning me this truck for the day, and I always appreciate each and every one of you who are kind enough to watch my videos. Thanks for taking the time to watch, guys. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.